guys, is they're saying, don't wait until the last minute. Address issues as they pop up, okay? I feel like some of you are dealing with some injustices that you feel is happening in particular in your work environment. And you're hoping for kind of like an opening. So I feel like you're hoping for something to open up, either to shift into a new position or to get people on board with with the ideas and the plans that you're hoping to implement. And I feel a lot of resistance from the upper echelon in that work environment, like a lot of resistance. People are not seeing a situation for what it is. And I also feel that people in the top tier, positions are also trying to cover their own, assets, trying to protect themselves in their position. So they might be in a position where they're tenured and they don't really want to, do additional work, or they might be in a position where they feel like they want to protect their position, so they don't want to, kick up a dust storm. They don't want to further an investigation that needs to happen. So I do feel there's some issues here when it comes to things you perceive to be kind of not. It's kind of like things are stagnating. The organization, the work environment, the people from the top tier levels, they don't really want to change. They don't really want to create, more work for themselves, and they don't really want to upset people, upset the institution, upset the structure. So for this month, it's going to feel a little bit like, you're kind of like very much alone in a big struggle. That's what it seems like to me, especially in the work environment. And one of the things that they advise you to do is that while you're looking for that opening to have your say, to be able to tweak a work environment to your liking, I do sense that there are opportunities for you to do that, but the opportunities will come as a result of you pushing forward with the agenda, okay? So rather than waiting for that opportunity, for that opening to take place or to happen or to come into the picture, I feel like pushing your own personal agenda along is going to be very good for you. The other message that I have here is overall, they mention that you have a lot of skills, and a lot of it comes with the ability. It's almost like a Libran energy where, yes, you are a fixed sign and you hold on very strongly to your belief. You also have this idea about you where you're willing to listen. And, some people, they listen. And they listen to wait for that opening where they get to inject or assert their beliefs. But I feel like when you listen, you genuinely listen because you're not dogmatic or arrogant enough to believe that your point of view is the only point of view. You are open-minded enough to state your case, but also being very receptive to what the other side, the opposition, has to say. And I feel like in that manner, it's a very good asset that you possess, and it's also a really good skill when it comes to connecting, relating to other people, and also allowing other people to get on board with what you have to do. Okay, so we have some really positive things verging for you for the day. They have been a little bit problematic. They're very oriented towards home, social expectations, financial issues, financial constraints. And I do feel a lot of restructuring in the home. And so I wanted to see more in terms of, what's happening in your public life. And I feel like this is the month in which a lot of momentum, a lot of energy is being shown in your public environment, in your work environment, in the ways in which you project or assert yourself into, the public space. Okay, so let me just talk about this. One of the things that I feel happening here is a major transformation that's taking place. It's taking a while for you to get where you are right now. So it's not like a transformation happening overnight. I feel like it's months in the making. Possibly a major event, a major impetus has really happened. Assert yourself in the work environment, in the public sphere, where you come into your own sense of power. And I feel a lot of you are dealing with something that is a lot bigger than yourself, okay? So basically what it means is that it feels to me as if you might be in a position where you feel a little bit oppressed. You feel like you can't really exact the right types of changes that you would like to see take place. You feel a little bit powerless. And so as a result of coming into, facing opposition and feeling as if, yes, I have all the great ideas in the world, but there's some structural, systemic issues from the top down that's preventing me from really implementing these new ideas. And it's also preventing me from being able to sell other people on my ideas. So I feel like there's something that is bigger than you, that is a little bit more rigid, a little bit more structural. And while you're here trying to implement these change, trying to, shake things up or trying to improve the processes, you're still encountering opposition. And the opposition has nothing to do with, what's right, what's wrong, because we know that you're in the right. You have the right ideas. You have the right, I want to say, incentives and motives for implementing the changes that you're hoping, because you feel that it is going to be for the greater good of the institution, for the greater good of the company, for the greater good of all the employees and employers around. So I feel like we're definitely on the right track in terms of the ideas that you have. But people are not on board because they are inherently selfish. They don't want to do the extra work. They don't want to create infighting. They don't want to, shake up the boat. So there's some issues here where I feel like you might feel a little bit dejected, thinking, I'm just one person. What difference can I make? And the point here is that in the process of realizing that maybe we need to scale down our expectations, maybe we have this massive endeavor, this massive plan that we want to, move things along, or we want to implement, but we might need to, hack up the pieces, and basically take small steps one at a time so that the task in front of you doesn't encounter a lot of opposition, so that the task in front of you is manageable. Okay, so I feel like that's what's happening here. You're coming into this month with a lot of momentum, but also the momentum is bringing up, a reassessment that you are just one person. So realistically, what can you do at this present moment, small steps, so that you can create the environment that is suitable for you. I do feel for many of you, there is some things here regarding your skills. Okay, so you are somebody that has a lot of latent skills. And I do feel as well you are selling yourself a little bit short when it comes to your capabilities. So that means seeking jobs where you might be underpaid and underemployed, mainly because you feel that those are the only jobs that you qualify for, when in fact they are really assessing or encouraging you to assess, where do your skills lie? You're a great communicator, you're a great compromiser, and you are also great with working in the public, but a lot of the times you might shy away from the spotlight as well. And this is a message that I mention a lot of the times with Virgos, and I feel it's coming in for you. Your time in the limelight is now. So a lot of you might be shifting into a different position that requires dealing with the public, and you're not ready for that shift. But they're saying that, the time is now. Don't procrastinate on this decision any longer, because you have a lot to offer. This is a card about somebody that has a lot of, strong business acumen, a lot of practical life experiences under their belt. So you want to really think about how the things that you have experienced in life, all the transitions, all the shifts, all the uncertainty that you have faced in the past, how those experiences have shaped who you are right now, and what you have learned from it to really solidify, what you believe in. So I feel that fighting from a passionate standpoint, really putting your ideas out there, really thinking about where I've come from and the person that I am becoming right now, and arguing from that standpoint or getting people on board based on, that standpoint, you're going to get a lot of followers, okay? So I do feel a lot of harmony and love and emotional support coming through from your family and from the social circle overall. This is a card greatly about new contracts, okay? New contracts being signed here. And it denotes a new work environment that you can shift yourself into. So I see a lot of you leaving a very troublesome, problematic work environment and seeking new opportunities, hence, new contracts being signed where you are going to end up with a lot more financial abundance. I feel a lot of you have opportunities, have people soliciting you for a new job, but you're staying in the current job. Mainly, even if it doesn't pay enough, you're staying in the current job because you feel like you're doing a lot of good in this work environment. And if you feel like, if I leave now, who's going to take up the mantle? Who's gonna, take care of the problems when they creep up? So I feel that, yes, it is a very honorable, thing to do, but at the same time, in this new position, I feel that you can create and, move things along in the exact way that you're hoping. So I do feel that starting a new job is highly supported for this month. So if you're straddling the fence, it is time for you to start looking elsewhere, okay? It's time for you to forge new alliances, create new contracts, network with new people. And I do see celebrations and a lot of success brewing for you in the overall work environment, in the public image, in your public image, in the public environment. So you're getting a lot of positive reception overall. A lot of love and support is coming through from family members. And I feel that, a lot of the times too, family members, they know how to push our buttons, right? But they also are incredibly supportive. Most of our family members, well, they're supposed to be anyways. I feel like you come from, a very, very stable, loving household where everybody's on board, and they're very emotionally supportive of all of your ideas, all of the things that you're hoping to do. And so a lot of the times you feel like, well, they're my family, is of course they're going to support me. Of course they're going to douse me in all this love and emotional, recognition. But I feel that that's not the case, actually, because I feel that you have innate skills that you might have, I want to say that are dormant, or you have innate skills that you don't really feel would be transferable to a work environment. But I feel like, coming from an environment with love and support, you know what people need in order to be able to thrive. And so you are trying to recreate that for other people who might not have that, who might be lacking that emotional support, that family cohesion. And so I feel like a lot of this energy is all about giving back in a meaningful way, learning from our own personal experience about what it means to, learning from your past experiences, life experiences, and thinking deep and hard about, what did I have that makes me the person I have today? And versus the next person, what did they have that makes them the person they are today? So I feel like this whole assessment about what type of support you need or what type of support you didn't have and how that really affected you on an innate level, and then transferring that, extrapolating that into the greater society and thinking really about why is this group, for example, not or underperforming, and what is it inherently or systemically inherent in their upbringing or in their environment that's preventing them from, growing to their full potential. So I feel like a lot of deep-rooted problem solving is happening for you for this month, and a lot of it deals with, your assertion into the public environment. So things are looking very good, Taurus, and I would encourage you, don't be afraid, don't procrastinate, don't be afraid anymore about taking the next step in your professional career. Come out in the limelight, okay? And you are going to be very well received, okay? You will be getting a lot of emotional support, positive reception as well, okay? So I hope that is helpful for you guys. I'm really happy to see a very, I want to say, like, it's definitely different from the past 2 months. And I'm really happy to see an energy change for you guys, okay? So I'm going to do your love reading now, and let's So there is a card that, let's flip it back. This is one that came out. I'm trying not to read reversals with this spread or with this deck, mainly because it's a little bit different. The meanings are a little bit different. Okay, so let me just let's talk about the past. We have here the Seven of Swords, and this is basically some type of strife in a relationship where somebody was not giving, their all. They're not being truthful, they're not being honest, and not being very discreet. So this is a card overall, basically indicative of you sailing past, flying over, overcoming all of these issues in a past relationship. I feel like for some of you, this is still something quite recent. And I feel that you have given somebody multiple tries, okay? Your intuition was kicking in, telling you that something was innately wrong in the relationship. And I feel that you have given the person the benefit of the doubt multiple tries in order to rectify a situation. And when it wasn't working anymore, I do feel a lot of you have pretty much decided to sail on away from this. I do feel as well, for some of you, there has been some major overcoming of challenges in the relationship, okay? So outside interference, etc., or even forgiving a partner or a partner forgiving you for some act of indiscretion, for some acts of infidelity and things like that. So this is greatly about people overcoming, relationship issues in order to get to this present moment. We have here the Nine of Cups. This is generally considered the wish card, but what it basically means is, as the Nine of Cups, as a single person, this is a card about getting a lot of news, getting a lot of communication, getting a lot of people who are very much interested in you. However, when I see this card and the things that, it's kind of like creating a little bit of a wall between yourself and other people, mainly because, yes, you like the positive attention, but some of you are waiting for the best, waiting for, that perfect person. And so you're not dabbling in all these invitations. You're not responding to all of these solicitations or invitations. You're still keeping yourself kind of like, you're still keeping yourself from seriously dating or dating a lot. You're still trying to hold out for the best offer so that the past doesn't repeat. But also, you're still waiting around to assess the sincerity of another person. I have as well the Four of Swords, and I feel there is some type of a stoppage in communication between you and the person from the past that might have done this to you, okay? Others, I feel like you're reconciling. You're still, letting bygones be bygones, forgiving the other person, because this card is essentially it's about spiritual ascension. So like seeing past a situation, having greater wisdom to see past the situation. So I feel like some of you might have forgiven, but others of you, there is a deliberate blockage when it comes to communication. The person on your mind and whom you're thinking about here, we have here the King of Cups as well as the Magician. So I feel like some of you might be involved with this person here. So this is another earth sign like yourself. So another Taurus or a Virgo or a Capricorn. And it's not gender, specific. This can be a male or a female. This is somebody that I feel is very financially stable, very financially well off. On the negative side, they can be a little bit materialistic. They might be a little bit like overindulgent. They might be a little bit arrogant as well on the negative side, okay? And because I'm reading this in the upright position, I feel that you're dealing with somebody who is a little bit of I want to say like they live their life like a bachelor or a bachelorette. They have a lot of suitors. They have a lot of people that are interested in them, and they're never short of company. So I feel like a lot of you are thinking about this person. What I feel is this is somebody that is in the public limelight, in a very public environment. They might be dealing with a lot of people in their public life. They might be working by interacting with a lot of people, so they have the business skills, the business acumen, and a lot of talk too. So I'm sensing that it can go both ways for many of you, but I feel like this is somebody you are either you have either sailed away from and are trying to stop the communication. But I feel like for some of you who have recently broken up and are trying to sail away, this person is bringing gifts, bringing flowery words to ask you to come back, to solicit you to come back, to try to change your mind and steer you, or to try to lure you back in. And the things that they say, you want to be very, very careful and not let old patterns repeat, okay? And then for others, especially on the single front, I feel like you're coming into this month already with a big crush on another person. So you're already coming, especially for singles. You have somebody in mind. You're blocking out other communication from other suitors, mainly because you want this person to be the one to solicit you. The foundation here deals with things that you already know. We have here the Ten of Wands. I feel that some of you are, this is a card indicative of moving, okay? And it's linked up as well with the Emperor, which denotes kind of like upping your professional status, upping your public image. So this could be a major move for work. This could be, having to take care of responsibilities in the new work environment as well for those who have started a new job. And I do feel that because of it, there is attraction. There's somebody kind of eyeing you in the work environment. So I feel like there's something here that denotes to me you are, head to the grindstone, wanting to get a lot of recognition in your work environment. And there's also like snippets of attraction in your work environment. So I feel like you have a person soliciting you in your work environment. So you're pretty popular this month, Taurus. So I feel like, there are a lot of suitors here. Even if you're coupled, you don't have to be single. There are people eyeing you. So there's somebody that you have your eyes on, and there's another person eyeing you in the work environment. What's coming through in the future position? We have here the Sun. Overall, a lot of success, a lot of joy, and a lot of contentment, and a lot of social dating. So I feel like this is a really good month overall, especially for singles, for all Taurian people. You have people interested in you at work. If you are single, people interested at work. And I feel that there's going to be a lot of dating. There's a lot of going out, socializing, celebrations as well. And I feel that your partner, if you are in a relationship, your partner is making great strides in his or her work environment. So there's a lot more disposable income coming through, which will allow you both to, have a lot more date nights, have a lot more, the financial flow seems to me to be very comfortable. And as a result of that, there's a lot more opportunities for wining and dining, going out, celebrating, having drinks with friends, and, just reconnecting with each other on that romantic level, okay? It's going to be a very good month, Taurus. I'm really happy to see this for you. So best of luck with everything, okay? If you'd like to book a private reading with me too, please visit my website. The information is in the description box below. Now, I will start to open up the schedule week by week as soon as I find out what's happening in my life. After next Friday, it should start to open up, okay? I wish you all the best. Take care of yourself, and best of luck with everything. Bye-bye.